Well, we're now on the 12th floor. Donald and Goofy have left us due to an incident that happened at the end of the last level, and we find out that our next to last level in RE Chain of Memories was actually the first level in the original Kingdom Hearts. Let's do Destiny Island. Alright, the enemies of Destiny Island here are the worst of Wonderland and Monstro. You'll have those flowers, you'll have those annoying enemies that can do tornadoes, and you'll have those bagpipes. Now, you also no longer have Donald and Goofy. However, that doesn't matter, because now you can just Mega Flare these chumps to crisp and just move on. That's all you really need to do if you've managed to level up and grab Mushu. You can just finish off all the enemies on screen the moment the fight starts. Sora's comp bounty or reward for this stage is called Judgment. It requires an arrow and 2 Keyblade cards. It's similar to the Blizzard Strikes in the way that you'll throw a Keyblade card, except this one will lock onto an enemy and then it will realm around it, hitting it multiple times, and any enemy that happens to be near that enemy if it goes right. It's different than Reflect Raid, that it centers in one enemy and just smacks the heck out of it, compared to Reflect Raid, which bounces around like a pinball if it goes right. Your Room to Rewards card for this stage is the Mega Elixir. Now, this is a very handy card you might want to put in your deck, you might not, just depending on if you have an elixir or how you use your cards. I don't always, because it does have a high card point number. However, what it does is extremely useful. Basically, it resets your deck back to where it was at the beginning of a battle, anytime in battle if it goes off. All your cards are restored and your number is reset. So, you can combine a whole bunch of item cards into one with that little Mega Elixir. That's it. I usually just stick with elixirs instead, but it's a good card to pick up, just in case you need it. At the very end of a very linear map waits this guy for the boss. If you played the original Kingdom Hearts, you've faced this guy several times before, and he's pretty easy. When he sets his hands down, that's when you attack. Ars Arcanum's a good one, as is Sonic Blade. Are all good attacks to use. You can also smack him with Lethal Frame for quite a bit of damage, too. I'm about to use Mega Flare in this clip right here, too. That will do decent damage as well. You want to look for your gimmick card as well. That will allow you to build kind of this bridge thing that will allow you to get up close to his face and whack him. That said, don't try to use Ars Arcanum and whack him while you're up there. You'll hilariously fall off and won't do anything. Anyways, this guy can take a while to finish off because you can only hit him when he puts his hands down, really. However, he's pretty easy. Just break any cards you see with the 0 that you see that might cause damage, like when he does this flurry of dark balls, and just keep hitting him. He'll eventually die. You'll get the dark side card for your reward. This one would have been an interesting card to use earlier in the game, but right now it's kind of useless. Basically what it does is it allows you to copy your enemy's ability. From now on, whenever you see an enemy use a really powerful ability, you're probably wanting to stop it rather than just copy it. So I usually don't put them in my deck. And I should also note that the original GBA version that this is based off had a multiplayer on it that the PS2 and PS3 version do not have. Now, I know what you're thinking. After a somewhat easy stage, if you prepared and grinded for it, and a really easy boss, you're thinking the next boss out in the hallway is super, super hard. Well, I'm here to tell you there isn't one really super, super hard boss battle waiting for you in the hallway. There's 2 really super hard boss battles waiting for us in the next hallway. So be prepared. Stop and check your deck. Look how I got mine arranged. I have 0s on top. Then I have Keyblades in descending order. My Keyblades are jumbled up, so if the slights require me to use different Keyblades, I can use them. And then I have my magic cards and summon cards grouped together so I can easily figure out where they are and use them quickly. You might be able to build a more efficient deck than I do, but I have a deck that I know where it's at and can access them quickly. Most people who die in these next few boss battles oftentimes die because their deck is a mess. I know the first time through I had struggled with these guys just because I had a sloppy deck. I put cards wherever, not realizing that when the deck is shuffled, it goes right where I put the card. Especially important to realize that during this time that Chain of Memories came out, the Mega Man Battle Networks and Yu-Gi-Oh games were at the height of their popularity, and anyone who plays them knows that they always shuffled their deck. Here, it's important to keep your deck organized because the game does not shuffle it for you. It keeps them in the order that you put them in. Alright, just like the last game, Riku is hands down the hardest boss in the game. So far, I would say Marluxia might be a little bit more harder than him, but not by much. This time around, he will attack with all the sleights he's learned before. He'll be able to do shockwaves. He'll be able to do circle projectiles and then finish him off with a slash if he hits you. And of course, he'll be able to use his 3 sleights, the Helm Splitter, the Dark Firaga, and now he'll be able to use Dark Aura. What's Dark Aura, you ask? Remember in the original Kingdom Hearts when you fought him on top of Hollow Bastion, that one move he used? The move that would always decimate you right when you thought you were winning? Yeah, that's Dark Aura, and he can use it now. That said, the good news here is you have an easy counter. Use 0 cards. Second you see Dark Aura appear on the top of the screen, make sure you got a 0 card able to use. If you don't have a 0 card able to use, recycle your deck right away or put up a sleight that is higher value than the Dark Aura, or else you will get killed. That thing does not screw around. Also, make sure you got Oogie Boogie and Vexen in your deck. They will help you greatly. Vexen's auto life will bring you back to battle if in case he manages to actually connect with the Dark Aura that finishes you off. And Oogie Boogie contains a handy regen. Other than that, basically smack them with your best sleights. We're talking Lethal Frame, we're talking Tornado, we're talking Ars Arcanum, we're talking Sonic Blade. And just keep up the pressure on him until he's all out of juice. Once you beat him, he'll get the Riku Replica card. This one will allow you to keep the cards you used in sleights. You're able to use 5 per battle when you have him activated. It's a useful card to have activated and can be very valuable for the boss fights that are upcoming. And if you're asking what the heck a Riku Replica is, well, watch the cutscene that follows. But before you trigger that cutscene, I strongly recommend you turn around, go back into Destiny Island's Conqueror's Respite, and save. We're about to fight another big boss after you talk to Riku. Talking to Riku will trigger a cutscene that will lead to another boss fight. Good news is you'll get Donald and Goofy back in the process. Alright, what can I say about Larxene except she's one tough cookie. She might not be as tough as Riku was, but she still has a lot of powerful moves. Mainly her main attacks for basic are projectiles. She'll throw out knives or lightning bolts. So you have to be careful for that. And her sleights are fairly powerful too. Try to block them with those 0 cards before they are able to be unleashed. She does have a new one called Blade Storm, in which she'll throw out her blades across the entire area and kind of make all these lightning ropes appear that'll try to wrap you up and shock you. Again, you can block it by just using a 0 card. Then just basically use the same attacks that you used on Riku. Sonic Blade, Ars Arcanum, Lethal Frame are all good attacks to use on bosses like her. Now that you got Donald and Goofy back, remember you can also use Wild Crush on her. If you're able to corner her with it, it does do a lot of damage. And it's how I was able to finish her off quickly. After Larxene is destroyed, she will give you her card which just boosts lightning. I don't put it in my deck because I don't keep lightning cards in my deck. She will fade away, and Sora will learn everything that's been going on in the story so far behind the scenes. And we will go up to the 13th floor to finish off the rest of the bad guys.